Hello and welcome to the video on Add Visual Interest to a Worksheet. So go ahead and please open the fruit sales worksheet. And it's a good idea to look through the worksheet to see what's showing up. And it looks like we have fruit sales for 2023, last name, first name, the region, and all of the sales for the entire year, January through December, for quite a few sales reps. What we're going to do is work with formatting and also complete a total in column P. But the first thing we're going to look at is the date, where it says today's date. If we click in B2, it's actually a formula, equals today, open, close parentheses. So whenever you open this particular worksheet, it'll have the current date that you open it on. Mine happens to be July 11th. So this is the short date style, so I'm going to go to the Home tab, and if I click the down arrow, I'm right now showing the formatting style for the short date, and if you wanted to, you could choose the long date where it shows Tuesday. When you get the hashtags or the pound symbols, just double click so you can see all of it. Now if you don't like this style, I like July spelled out, but I don't necessarily need the day of the week. So if I go back into here, these are my two options. I wish there was a medium. I'm going to go down to more format options, and because I was in a date, it comes up already as a category date. And then the type, or what are the styles you want. So all of the type examples are showing March 14th, 2012, but you can see in the sample what you would actually get. So if you just wanted this style, you would get 7/11. I'm going to actually scroll down and choose this style. And again, I will not get March 14th. I will get July 11th, 2023, and you will have the current date that you opened this on. There's other ones that you could choose where you get the date and the time, so that if you wanted to stamp date something that you're submitting to your boss and you have the actual time, you could select the date and time. But I'm going to go with this sample, so click OK. And now I don't need it as wide, so I'm just going to reduce it. And the next thing we're going to do is prepare it for totals. We could go here and do our auto sum, but I want to show you a shortcut. So I'm going to select everything, starting with A4 all the way to P15, and then select from the Home tab, Format as Table. And again, you have three categories, light, medium, and dark. You can select any style that you'd like. It'll have you confirm that it's A4 to P15, and your table does have headings, last name, first name, region, so that's good. Click OK. And what we're looking for is to get these little markers. So now we're going to click in P5, and on the Home tab, I'll do the auto sum like I was going to do before. And the only difference is now it's coming up equals sum table 1. You can give the table a name, but if you don't, Excel automatically names it for you, table 1, and that's because you selected the range A4 through P15, so it gave it a name for you. So that range is called table 1. And then the formula, instead of showing the cell range D5 through O5, it's giving you the name from the headings, January through December, that it's adding, which is perfectly fine. And I'll press enter. And the other nice thing that it does is because you're in a table, it magically displays all of the sums for each of them. So I just want to click down below here and just show you in the name box. If I click the down arrow, there is one called Table 1. It named it for you. And if I select it, it selects the entire range for us. So now what I'd like to do is, because we're looking at values, they probably should have the $sign in decimal 2 places. So I'm going to select all of the values, and I could just simply click the accounting format style. Don't worry about this right now. We'll adjust it. You could adjust it now if you wanted to. If you wanted to adjust them now, you could go to each actually, instead of doing it, double click, double click, double click, select D through G, and then just double click one of them. And it does it all for you. So you do see that February has 2 salespeople that have a negative, and it's coming up as as parentheses in the cell. But if you look in the formula bar, you'll see the negative sign. So sometimes with negatives values, you would want them in red. So we're going to select all of these, but before we do that, I just want to show you the difference between the accounting style. See where the dollar sign is? It's hugging the left edge of the margin. If I were to click in here and choose currency, it hugs the very first digit. So that this is especially helpful when you're writing checks. You want the dollar sign right next to the number, your first number. That way no one sneaks in another number. So that's your choice. You can click the accounting format style, or you can go to the drop down box and choose currency. Or what we're going to do is go into either in here, more number formats, and you'll see that we're at currency. I'll do it from this one, and I'll select the red style, and then OK. And then it's red, but you don't see the minus sign. See, it's up here in the formula bar. So I actually want it to have it in parentheses so it stands out more. So I'm going to select all of it. Instead of going to more number format, I'm going to go to the number dialog box launcher, and it's the same thing. And then I'll choose this one. Again, it doesn't show the negative. You see it in the formula bar, but you don't see it here. But it does stand out more so because it's in red and in parentheses. So let's take a peek at this to see how it would print. So File, Print. And again, it's showing in Portrait because that's the default setting. So I'll change the orientation to Landscape. So instead of 3 pages, now it's just 2 pages. We could change the margins to narrow, but it's still very, very large worksheet. So now we're up to July. We still have a second page. So I'm going to show you something later how you could actually get it to fit all on one. But let's go back. And there's something else you can do with the title, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to select January through December, and then go into the dialog box for alignment. And right now it's centered horizontally, and it's at the bottom of the line, so of the cell. So I'm going to change it to 45 degrees, and then click OK. And it's kind of messy, so we just need to make it wider. So I'm just going to drag to make it wider so we can see everything. And then maybe try moving the cells so that you can see it a little more clearly. Now, just by doing that, it puts it on a diagonal. It won't save any space. We still have just to July, but I just wanted to show you the different, we could do it also for last name, first name, and region. So if we scroll over and do it to these 3 as well. What happens if I accidentally clicked font when I was supposed to be clicking the alignment for putting it in 45-degree angle? That's okay. I would just click it here and then move it to 45 degrees. There are, in the format cells, 6 tabs. So if you were in the wrong one, you click the wrong one, no worry, just you can get it from up here. And then click OK. And again, I would center it. And then we'll take a look at it as a printout. And again, it's pretty cool how it shows on an angle for the first tab. So if you wanted this to all fit on one page, there is something you can do. The only thing it's going to do is make it a little bit smaller in the font size. What we're going to do is we're going to scale it to fit on one sheet. So right now there is no scaling. It's at 100%. So I would click this option and choose Fit Sheet on one page. So it's going to shrink the printout so that it fits on one page. So it's a little bit smaller, but it all fits on one page. So that's how you can make a worksheet visually appealing to your audience. Thank you.